Today we're going to do a quick review on this GE Profile ice maker. A few months ago we came to the conclusion that we needed a better option for ice. So we had shopped around and my wife found this GE Opal Countertop ice maker. What we had was our freezer in the kitchen is actually on the bottom of the fridge, and with that set up, every time we wanted to get ice we had to open that bottom drawer, and the ice would, if the tray was full in there, it would tend to spill and come out all over the place. Another one of the big drawbacks we were having was that our ice maker is using tap water, and up here in northern Indiana we have some pretty hard water, and that tap water that's got the hose leading to the back of the fridge makes for some pretty terrible ice. So we weren't really happy with that, and we like to have ice in a lot of our drinks. Well, that ice was just ruining all our drinks, so we wanted a better option and we decided to go with the countertop ice maker like this one here. Now you may be wondering, well, why do I want a countertop ice maker? Well, I just told you a couple of the reasons was that, well, for us, the ice we had in this house, it really just wasn't good. In our previous home, we were using ice trays, and as most of you probably know from experience, ice trays are, you know, they get the job done, but they're a pain in the butt. You gotta fill them with the water, you go put them in the freezer, someone bumps them, and you got water spilled in the freezer that freezes. It's not the end of the world, but it certainly is a little more hassle. So we didn't really want to go with that option either, especially with the bottom freezer on this particular fridge and freezer that we have. Some of the advantages of this countertop ice maker are that, well, it makes 3 pounds of ice that it holds in the compartment, and it'll make 24 pounds of ice in a day, which is actually a little bit impressive. For parties or entertaining, you know, you can move this thing out to a different space. If you had a basement area that you wanted to have ice, you could move it down there. You could put it out on the patio. You could use it for tailgating, as long as you had a power source, and in a few hours you have a pretty good amount of ice. So this particular model that we got, it comes with a side tank here that basically kind of magnetically sticks to the side of this thing, and this tank opens up from the underside. You just take it off of there, and it's empty right now, so I need to fill this up. You unscrew this part here, and then you can fill it up with water. And what we're using now, instead of the hard water here in northern Indiana, we're using Hinkley Springs water service with those 5-gallon bottles that you get. That works out really well because now we don't have to worry about descaling this thing. What GE recommends is if you're living in a hard water area like we are, that you need to descale this every 2 or 3 weeks. But with using the water we're using from that purified water, Hinkley Springs stuff, we don't have to worry about that. So that's kind of nice. And of course, the water always tastes good, so the ice tastes good. So right now this thing is retailing on Amazon for about $567, I think is what I saw, which is pretty pricey. But if you're in a situation like we were, where we just have terrible ice coming out of our tap water and freezer, and the inconvenience that we had, well, trying this thing, you know, it was an option, and we thought we'd give it a whirl and see what happened, and we ended up really liking it a lot. Another great reason to use this thing would be someone like maybe a college student in a dorm room that really doesn't have you know, big enough freezer or fridge to have ice. Yeah, it's maybe a little expensive for a college kid to have, but if you really wanted the ice that bad, it's nice and small, and it would fit in that corner of the room or something, and it could be a very viable option for you. Really, the only problem I'd say we even had with this thing was figuring out how to get the ice out of it at first. We actually bought this, I don't even remember where, probably Bed Bath & Beyond or something, or Big Lots, but it's got a little magnet in it, and it just hangs on the ice maker there. This just pulls out, and then it tips back, and it'll rest nicely there. It also comes with this little tray underneath, kind of a drip tray. There's a hose connected to the bottom of this thing, and it runs to the machine, And you've got your power cord that runs to this outlet. Ignore this tile work. I'll be redoing that soon too. So watch for a video on that. Of course, with anything, there's disadvantages too. The only real disadvantage with this unit is that now you have something else on your counter taking up some space, and if you are really limited on counter space in your kitchen, or maybe you don't really have the place to put something else like this that's separate from your freezer. So what's kind of neat is that this thing does actually fill up the glass a lot with ice because the ice nuggets are small. So if you're going to fill your glass with ice and you want a real cold drink, well, you're going to get a cold drink because the glass has a lot of ice in it, not just a few big cubes that will leave a lot of space in between them. So at the retail price of $560 some on Amazon, you know, and my wife told me that, I about near fell out of my chair. So for ice, I thought, well, that's a little excessive, but you know, she really wanted to try it. It has that Nugget ice. And it, you know, after a few months of having it, I'd have to say, yeah, we really do like it a lot. Well, guys, I hope this video helps you out. If you were thinking about getting one of these, maybe now you have a little more information and insight into how it works and what it's really about. And if that helps you make a decision, well, that's good. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.